stages, Wolf, but the mystery of who's going to stay in Code and who's going to be knocked out is going to be solved this game, man. And one of these players could be going on. Is it going to be this guy, our red Protoss player? Spawning over at the 3 o'clock position on GSL Zelnaga Fortress. There he is. Or is it going to be this guy? Spawning as our blue Terran player. Played really well last game. I like his really fast upgrades idea.
Slayer's GanZI.
Slayer's GanZI.
Yep.
Saw a shot of his headset there for a second.
That was his ear.
They're like, whoa, like, it shows the yellow APM. They're like, whoa, that's too fast. We can't show that on TV. Like, hide it really fast.
His APM's too high. Big thanks to our sponsors, Pepsi and G-Skill. Pepsi products, man. I don't know what I'd do without them.
Neither would I, man. I've actually been having some withdrawal. I haven't had Pepsi for a while.
Yeah.
Some convenience stores here just don't have Pepsi. We just don't go to those, man. But like the ones that are close to me, I like go there and they only have Coke. I'm like, well.
The Mountain Dew here, man, they put real sugar in it. It's so good.
Yeah, in general, in Korea, they don't use that high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
They just use different, like, actual sugar in it. So it tastes very different. And to me, it's weird because it doesn't leave that taste in your mouth that the corn syrup does. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Don't get me started, man. I'm like...
You can always tell,
so
like, the
angry.
Korean products that have the corn syrup in it now that you go here and you drink the ones that don't.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, well, I don't want to try this soda anymore because it's got it in there.
Now, did you know that probes, Wolf, are actually powered by corn syrup fuel?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I
Dropping
got to switch
knowledge
races
there.
now.
Yep. 99% of the agricultural output of the Midwest goes to power probes.
Did not know that, man.
Yeah.
I thought they used ethanol.
Nope, you're wrong. It's corn.
Ethanol and high fructose corn syrup might not be all that different, man.
That's right. That probe is going to leak out some corn syrup now. Actually, it's flammable, explosive corn syrup.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff.
Yep. That's dangerous corn syrup. But the probe didn't see a whole lot.
You know, speaking of just flammable and explosive things, I'm going to say something that's like completely unrelated. What happens? Has anyone ever... You know how if you have Mentos and Diet Coke, there's this chemical reaction?
I've seen that.
What happens if you eat it and drink it? Do you actually just die?
They did that on Mythbusters, man. They got like a pig stomach and put in there, and the stomach got bigger, so it probably wouldn't be very comfortable, but you'd probably just burp a lot. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it. It sounds
That was like the scariest thing to me, and I would always look at Mentos packages like and look and see like, is there a warning about this? Well, there's not, and I'm like, what? People could die. Like,
as soon as someone does die from it, and there's a lawsuit, then there'll be a warning.
Well, if someone just doesn't know about the reaction, that's like really scary. I just actually want to warn everyone: don't drink Diet Coke and eat Mentos at the same time.
Thank you.
I'm just warning you guys. Like, I heard it's quite explosive, man.
I think that someday we'll have to try this out. See what happens. We'll get John to do it. He's a brave guy. Looks like Banshees for GanZI.
This is actually like the same thing that's happened to all 3 games. Where like the first Zealot comes forward and pokes a little bit, the Stalker does a little bit of damage.
Ooh, nice micro there, keeping that Marine alive. And yeah, so it's going to be Banshees for GanZI, I believe, unless he's going to do for some crazy Blue Flame Hellion.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Banshees.
Yeah. All right, there he is. He's moving the factory now. And look at this. The SCV gets in and sees everything. More importantly, sees that there's not a lot to see.
Yeah, well, I just want to check and see if he was able to see a second gas.
I think he did.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So that's very lucky.
And cloaked Banshees even. And this is the type of thing you see a lot more lately than you used to. This is probably going to be that... I wonder if it's going to be that Marine Tank Banshee Raven thing.
Well, see the Nexus there?
Yeah.
When GanZI sees that, that is going to be the follow-up.
Yeah.
If he didn't see that, then he would probably just switch and make an expansion and try to contain his opponent, be aggressive.
He's getting the reactor on that barracks right now, and I love this build that GanZI is doing. It's like my new favorite thing to do. I actually never used to do it. I know it's been around since like beta, but I actually never used to do it.
I just can't stress you guys enough that without a robotic support bay, you can't hold this. You can't hold that timing attack. You just can't. Like, someone send me a replay where you do, because I'd love to copy your build. And see it. I actually asked one of my friends once who's like high-level masters on NA. I was like, have you seen this holding? This is like a few months ago, maybe even like 6 months ago. I was like, I can't hold this sometimes. He sends me a replay. He's like, you just make more zealots. I'm like, no. What about the Banshees? And I like watch the game, and the guy like, the guy's Banshees like aren't even with the units. I'm like, oh, stop sending me these replays that are bad.
There you go. You just ask them politely to not attack with their Banshees.
It's just almost impossible to hold. I mean, you guys, I've said this so many times. You guys watch the games like, well, I don't know, Wolf, he might hold it. No, you're actually wrong. He's not going to hold it if that happens.
And he might be able to do some decent damage.
Yeah,
with
he
this
will
Banshee
because
as well.
Cloak is finished.
Yeah, first
and
observer's on the way, but he'll be able to do a little bit.
Is he going to target down Stalkers? That would be like too Korean, man.
That'd be so smart.
No, he's going to target down Probes.
All right, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think targeting down Stalkers would have been the best choice at this point. Well, he's being really indecisive.
I don't know. That's like my new favorite thing to do with Banshees. I just target down the units.
Yeah, he didn't get a whole lot with this. He like damaged the shields of 2 Stalkers and killed like 3 Probes.
That's like more something we see in TVT anyway. Everyone in Korea loves to kill the Marines, you know, because then you put
yeah, and that's something I thought, well, like maybe he's going to commit to these Stalkers and kill them, so when he does a timing attack later, it'll be better.
Oh, if he actually kills those sentries, though, I think that would be worth killing.
Definitely a lot easier to kill sentries. They don't have as many hit points, but he is going to focus down mostly on those Probes.
Yeah.
Keeps the Banshees alive back at home.
So smart.
We're seeing the prep for that all in.
And it's so important to keep the Banshees alive, too, for this. Get them back and repair them. And each of these Banshees has about 5 or 6 kills apiece, so they are doing some pretty decent damage.
And he's forced 2 observers out as well. He has to keep one on both sides. If he messes that up at all, he's just going to lose Probes.
Yep.
Now, the reason why this is an all-in and not a timing attack this time is because he knows the robotic support bay is finishing up. And if he waits a little bit too long, he's just going to lose. Like he's as a time he can't like contain or anything. He's just going to lose.
Well, he pulled a bunch of the SCVs, and you know why not? If you're going all in, the SCVs are just going to be bored at home. That's what I think.
This is a really, really nicely timed attack here. He's of course only doing this because he knows there's a Nexus there. He knows the robotic support bay wasn't out for a while. This is going to be a very thin line. The first Colossus is being Chrono boosted out. He's adding 2 gates to help him hold. But guess how many? He has got 3 Stalkers and 4 Sentries. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this. The Banshees are being repaired.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the nice thing about having those SCVs there is that everything stays so well repaired. And as long as you kill the Stalkers, the Banshees can basically do whatever
And
they
if
want.
you can kill the Observers as well, things can get nasty there.
Yeah. All right, Banshees.
Oh, man, these Stalkers are getting a little bit too aggressive, I think. The Banshee's going into the main, though. The Probes having to be pulled.
And what's he going to do? Is he going to focus on the pylons? He could actually depower these gateways as well.
He's just trying to pull the Stalkers back as his other units move forward. I like this move a lot. His tanks siege up. He's going to want to slowly push towards his opponent's base, but
Yeah.
with more Colossi coming, things could get really, really scary for GanZI.
And I don't know, this is really interesting that you usually don't see players
Whoa!
stop this far away.
He loses
Oh.
a Banshee carelessly.
Yeah, I think GanZI just has to go for it. There's no reason to sit back and wait right now.
Well, he is doing a lot of damage to these Stalkers. He's keeping the Stalkers away from the Banshees. Now, this is what I like, putting up the bunkers. I say this is what I like. This is actually what I hate, man. This is like too good.
This is what I like.
The Pross inside me is crying. More Zealots being warped in.
All right.
He's going to go. Guardian shields up. Zealots running forward. The tank's doing so much damage, though. There's only 1 Colossus. Will it be enough? It just may be, but no, there's not enough Stalkers. The Banshees coming in, targeting them down.
Yep, those Banshees are going to target the Stalkers. There's 4 Banshees there. They're all cloaked. And even if all the Marines get cleaned up, I don't know, though.
It's just
Vanvanth did
barely
pretty
going to
well.
be enough.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you lose all your Stalkers. The Banshees just end the game. You have to have a perfect mix. But if you had made more Stalkers, then what happens? You can't get the siege tanks. You can't kill the Marines.
Yep, exactly. So it looks like GanZI is going to stay in Code A.
Yep.
And
He needed another Colossus.
It's
GG.
And we see a Code S player's knocked out of the GSL.
See if
Danger
he can-
days.
Yeah,
Wolf.
danger days, man.
Danger
In the
days.
round of 32.
That's right.
They're not the death days.
Not the death
I
days.
like
We're not-
ruined this branding, man. I was like, I'm going to call it the danger days. It's going to be cool. And then I just said death days by accident.
We're
I was
not
like,
actually going to like execute Vanvanth after the game or anything. He gets to live, but he doesn't get to stay in the GSL.
very, very difficult to hold that timing attack with the Nexus. He went for the robotic support band. GanZI's timing wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
but you can make a Nexus, you just lose. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I am sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Are you really sorry?
It's all my fault. I actually designed this timing
Why did
attack.
you make him lose, Wolf? I don't know why Wolf does this.
Well, these powers were given to me. I decided to use them.
The power to make people of the race you play lose in the GSL.
I decided to use them. I'm actually trying to get. I know Dustin's
I'll
listening.
be the only Protoss.
Dustin's gonna actually remove Banshees from the game. I know Dustin is listening.
First death days. Tomorrow, Wolf is the only Protoss in Korea. They have to let him in the GSL. because
I'm like
there's no one else.
Damaga. Damaga's like, hey, Maro, can you use this Reaper build? I'll teach you like a few minutes before the game. And then
Yep.
Maro's like, well, okay, you can teach me the night before, and then he jumps into it and then wins using only that build. And the Blizzard's like, well, I think there may be a problem. That's what I'm trying to do here.
I see.
No,
You're trying
no.
to raise awareness about the Marine Banshee.
Seriously,
all
though,
in.
if your opponent takes gas, don't make a Nexus until you know what's going on. Just don't do it. If you actually sit in your base and make one base Colossus, and your opponent does a build like that, and you scout with the Observer, how can you lose?
Friends don't let friends.
How can you
Make
lose? You
Nexus.
kill... I keep bringing this up, but Artosis actually has a guide on how to do what he calls the 2-gate robo. I call it the 1-gate robo. You make a second gate, but you make your robo before the second gate, because a lot of people make gate robo when they hear 2-gate robo.
Yeah.
And we always argue about that when we meet each other, why we call it different names. But anyways, watch that guide. It's on YouTube. It shows you how you can go send an Observer, you make a Nexus, the Observer gets there, you see it's an all-in like that, you cancel a Nexus, make your robotic support bay. If you hold that attack, then what does GanZI do? He doesn't have a command center. He has worse units. You have units designed to beat his units. Then what does he do? But if you just go, well, I scouted gas, but I'll just go for the Nexus anyways. No! Because then you lose.
You're so passionate.
I am,
about
man.
your builds. And while you're tooling around the internet looking at Wolf's builds, you can also follow GomTV on Twitter. And while you're at it, follow FXO Wolf and Doa SC. We actually tweet a lot every day, even.
Yeah, every day.
Yep.
More people should get Twitter. More people should get Google Plus.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get into that. That's something I think could be very useful in the future.
I'm kind of getting into it. I don't know. It's different, but I like it. I'm not a big Facebook person. I keep in touch with my relatives. Because, you notice how, your relatives only know how to use, Google and Facebook, and that's it? I have, the biggest itch on my upper lip right now. I don't want to scratch it.
Do you want me to scratch
it on stream?
I'm looking to scratch it.
We're going to try to resist. We've got a 5-minute break coming up.
He's going to get to itch that scratch.
That's right. I'm going to feel much more comfortable when we get back.
Itch that scratch. Scratch that itch. I don't know, man. We're going to take a 5-minute break.
That's right. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.